Hello guys, we're back. We're going to show you today how to fill out an SDF form, or also known as the student registration form. And this form is utilized for entering the data into the Texas Workforce System, which is the team system. And I'm just going to go one by one, step by step, how you would fill out this form. Okay, so the first thing you will have to do will be basically select the title for the person, but it's not necessary. So one thing it is necessary is the last name. So like I'm just gonna go ahead and put some of my information right now to give you the little introduction. So that my last name is Sergio. Make sure you don't change this information. So if you have two last name, make sure you continue using the same one from the beginning, because it does throws people off sometimes. It confuses people. My name is Sergio. And I do not have a middle initial, but if you have one, go ahead and please put it here. I'm just gonna put one so you can see it. Also, you have to select what document number you're going to provide to us to verify your age, and if applicable, that you are eligible to work in the US, and this is not applicable to everyone. So like in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and put a social security number. Now you have to make sure that you put the full social, not only the last four of the social here, okay? So in this case, I'm just going to make up one. I'm not gonna give you my real one. And also you will have to have your date of birth on 2-digit for the month, 2-digit for the day, and 4 digits for the year. So January 12th, 1992. Just an example. Also, I forgot to mention this, but if you do not have a social, you can actually go ahead and select driver license if you do have one, and under document number, just go ahead and put the number of the driver license. Or if you have any other type of ID, you can go ahead and just select it under other and put the name of your ID and put a document number there. It's easier if you use your social, that way all your information will get collected under that. And if you go to another program, you can actually pull it up by your social. So in this case, we're already on the gender, and students now have the option to do not wish to self-identify. So if the students wish to use that option, it is available to them. It is nothing that we're not allowed to have or something like that. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and select male. Above that, you have a little box that says, have you attended another adult ed class? If the student has before attended another program, it will also be useful to know. That way we can find them on the system already, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead, and the next section is the address information. So the address in this case, if this lets me type, okay, there we go. Just gonna go ahead and put the address for my workplace, but this is actually the address of the student's home. So the city of where these students live at, I should have said this student lives at. You can abbreviate the state and the zip code. Okay. Now we need to have a telephone number for this student. So please make sure that you have one for the students. That way we can get in contact with them if anything it's missing or anything like that. Also, it will be very helpful to have an option to know if the student can receive text messages, and also if the student has internet at home. I'm not going to go ahead and mark these ones, but it is important that we have this section in case that we cannot get a hold of the student by a phone call. We can also send them a text. And if they have internet at home, this helps the distance learning instructors to know that the students can actually work from home on their distance learning classes. A second phone number, it's very helpful in case we cannot contact them on their first line. That will also be very, very helpful. Make sure that for all of our students we have an email address. If we do not have one, make sure to guide the student to make an email address, because this is how we send the student a survey at the end of their class, whether they completed or withdrew. So this completes the basic information for the enrollment form. Now we get to the ethnicity and the race section. So the ethnicity and the race. Are you Hispanic, Latino, or not Hispanic? Make sure the students are selecting one of the options. And also on the race, most of our students already know what race they belong to. If not, please guide them with basic information on the races. If you do not know this information, please come and talk to us. There is different waivers here, but the first one is a consent for the directory information, name, address, telephone number. Please make sure that the student selected one of the two options from the left side. So in this case, I'm just going to say that I do agree for the three waivers. Then my responsibility as a student will be to sign at the bottom and put a date on the other side. Okay? Only if the student is a minor or a student between 16 through 18 years old. So only then we will need the parent signature. And by the parent signing and agreeing to these waivers, they are, as this statement states, by signing the acknowledgement and release of information section, you're giving your child permission to be part of our adult education program. So we must have that for minor students. 16-year-olds and 17 and 18-year-olds, as well as TANF students, have certain requirements on documentation. So please look at the bottom section, and I'm just going to semi-highlight it over here so you can see what the information is like. 16-year-olds, you have to have a court order and the school district withdrawal, as well as the parent permission, and that will be the signature on this section right here. So if we don't have that, the student cannot get registered into our program. For 17-year-olds, it's a little bit different. We do no longer need the court order, but we still need the parent permission and the school district withdrawal. And for 18-year-olds, you do need a school district withdrawal and parent permission unless the student has already completed high school or GED. The student is considered independent and you no longer need to have the parent permission or a school withdrawal. For more guidance on these requirements for 18 years old, please you can go ahead and contact Sergio, which is myself, at the office, and I can give you more information on this.